trick up your sleeve. You just keep rolling on and keep on singing the same old song. But I know where you really belong. Give it up wherever you roam. Give it up, you're never alone. Give it up wherever you roam. Give it up, you're already home. You say you want to believe. You never get on your knees, no. You just keep rolling on and keep on singing the same old song. But I know where you really belong. Give it up wherever you roam. Give it up, you're never alone. Give it up wherever you roam. Give it up, you're already home.
You're welcome here if you're she, he, we or they. You're welcome here if you're gay, straight or working it out. You're welcome here if you're in a relationship, single, divorced or widowed. You are welcome here if you're inked, pierced, both or neither.
You're welcome here if you're young.
Or young at heart.
You're welcome here if your neurons like to be typical or like to be spicy. You're welcome here if you're more Christian than Colin from Witch Hazel or haven't got the whole faith thing yet.
You are welcome here if you're living on a prayer or could use a prayer right now. You are welcome here if you've got it all sorted or if you've got doubts. You are welcome here.
Hello. Hi, Isabel. Hi, others joining. Yeah, a bit of a punchy thing, triggered mainly by the news from the Iron Maiden camp that the legendary human metronome, one-man double bass pedal that is Nick McBrain is stepping back from touring the band. I think possibly it looks like he'll be involved maybe in recording, maybe doing other stuff, his own kind of drum business, all those sorts of things. But just a chance tonight, I think in the middle of Advent, I think we are halfway through. Is this the second week of Advent? So we're kind of halfway through. How's this kind of Christmas preparation time going for you? Is it a time that you look forward to? Is it a time that it just feels a bit overwhelming? Yeah, so in the midst of that and all of our lives and the world, just a chance to kind of be together and share stuff. So a chance if you are someone who appreciates a kind of good drum fill, a good drum beat, what's your favourite kind of Iron Maiden or Nico kind of drum moment? It could be Clive Burr, the kind of first drummer from Iron Maiden, but also more generally, are there tracks that kind of make you go, it's amazing, or just lift you a bit because of the way the drums are? Love to hear. But a reminder that we're all welcome here, whoever we are and however we are this day. And let's join in the beginning of our evening ritual of this night. Yeah, what am I doing? That.
As moon rises, the sun slips sight. Begins the ritual of this night. For those convinced their path is right. Gathered from north, south, east and west, yet called at another's behest, those treading the path that is left. From near and far, come as you are to this place and embrace this space as darker hue embraces you. Of water, spirit, earth and fire, confessing the sins of empire, we come with our wounds and desire. Sensing that we are not alone, drawn to the flame that guides us home, for here, you, me and yet to be. Importance and signs of these times, for the sake of all those maligned, is yet the home of the divine.
So, just an invitation, as usual, to start by sharing what is positive. Positive, despite the sad news about Nico, but fair play to be able to make decisions and to make positive choices. Sort of maybe just start some Iron Maiden stuff. And obviously, due to copyright, cannot play anything but Iron Maiden. So I thought I'd try and attempt something. And then you can add your own Nico drum beat, right? Yeah, so. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but there you are. Like the old days of Compline, they had no music that I managed to record, so it was just literally going, I'm going to play the guitar, like people join, tripping over cables. So what has given you joy, lifted your spirits a bit, I wonder? Please do share in some comments, particularly if you're joining us the first time, you're welcome just to kind of comment, just to watch or listen as well. What has given you joy, lifted you out of yourself, given you hope, and in a sort of Viking way, because it is, Viking therefore inherently more metal. So it's making you want to say thank you, just makes you want to say tusen tack, which is kind of Norse for like 1,000 thank yous. So what has made you say tusen tack this day, or since we last met a month ago nearly, or the last week? Please do share in a comment.
loud as we roar. See the eagle, it soars. Wind and rain, refresh once more. From fear, hope redefined, we will not be denied. For are we yet alive? Invoke the threefold name and rekindle the flame. Faith, hope and love they remain. The song shall stay the same. Like it's all gone too, shall we be downcast too? Or stand shield to shield, together in the field? We refuse to yield. Steadfastly holding the line, for love wins in eternity's time. We keep pressing forward until the last, and our crash shall be forever.
Yeah, so what are you thankful for? So yes, since the news about Nico stepping down from touring with Iron Maiden as of the gig tonight, yeah, just thankful that since it's 42 years that he's been doing that. And so the time that I discovered Iron Maiden, I think I was about 10, 11. Number of the Beast was the first album that I bought, or I think really heard by Iron Maiden. I have a vague memory of, I think, hearing Can I Play With Madness, and me and my mate trying to get them to play that at the school disco, and that was like junior school. So that must have been when we were like 9, 10, but certainly by 11 I bought bought Number of the Beast. And I remember, I think it's track 3. So it has a spoken intro to The Prisoner, the kind of British cult sci-fi series filmed at Port Merion, I believe, in Wales. And yeah, and so that spoken intro, who are you? Who is, I am, you are number 6. I'm number 6. Who is number 1? Yeah, I'm not a number, I'm a free man. And then the sort of like laugh comes in. Bearing in mind, I've never seen The Prisoner. I think we might have been on holiday to Port Merion because I think my dad liked it, so we went to visit it. And so I kind of knew vaguely what it was, but didn't understand it. But anyway, this spoken intro happened, and there's that laugh. And then, like, Nico's drums kick in. Like, and then, yeah, and it's just, I just remember hearing that and just rewinding that bit. And the whole kind of Martin Birch, I think, was still producing them, that whole kind of just a production on it. So yes, I'm thankful for people who play drums, particularly Nick McBrain. I think, again, some of my favourite Witch Hazel songs are the ones that have kind of drum intros, and to watch Aaron, as well as the rest of Witch Hazel, do some of that live at Free Generate was amazing. But just to watch people who absolutely are at one with their instruments and just incredibly gifted, and just the way they share that. That's my cheese and tack for Nico and for Drummers of the World. Hey, David. So choose and tack for good friends, having a ticket for Iron Maiden next June. Yeah, so I'd be really interested to know who the drummer is when it gets announced. I assume, I don't know, I guess this has been like within the Iron Maiden camp. I guess this is all kind of planned, and they probably have somebody, I don't know. Yeah, and also with you, good sir. So yeah, that's what we're thankful for. So thank you for sharing what this day has made you say, choose and tack. I was just busy trying to work out the I'm going to grab a free man. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Is it A then? No, it's not. Helps if you tune your guitar or have any idea how to do that, I guess. But yeah, just man, I don't have that on vinyl. I have that on tape that I wore out. I've got it on CD, but it's just anyway, that's going to be in my head now until I go and listen to it. Indeed so good, sir. Indeed. Yeah, but there might be some, well, equally with the same news about Nico, that might not be necessarily good news. Obviously, thinking about the stroke that he had, and it's awesome the extent to which he's recovered, the extent to which he's talking about carrying on doing other projects, but the impact of age, health, all those things on all of us. Thinking again about Rick Savage from Def Leppard, and kind of living with Bell's palsy, and you just think, what amazing musicians, and Bruce surviving kind of cancer and things. So as that relates to our own experience of health challenges for ourselves, with those whom we love, as well as all the stuff going on in the world. Perhaps weather like this in the UK, we've got a red warning, which means potential loss of life and kind of flying debris here in the UK, which I think is quite rare. Hi Rachel. So maybe that's causing you anxiety. It would just be, I kind of hear bangs and think, oh no, that's the bin kind of taking out somebody's car or something, right? So if there's stuff that is heavy, but not in a core metal way, that we just want to acknowledge tonight, and let go of a chance to think about that and acknowledge that, so that we are not on our own with it. You can share in a comment if you want to, but that best of all, we support each other in all those things, and best of all, God is with us in whatever way you understand God or a being, which is greater and beyond ourselves. So yeah, what is it that we want to lay down? Maybe it's something we need to pick up again later on, but we can, perhaps have a break from it. And dude, Rachel, man, in the middle of broken central heating pump. I hope that it's getting sorted, and that you're okay in this weather. That you got the way to keeping warm. Sorry that's crikey happening. So let's lay those things down. Sense that we are not alone, that we are together supporting each other. I can't find it now. There it is. Yes. So let's lay it down, man. Lay it down. Down.
The principalities and will to power, the worms from within my own darkest hour. I confess all the regrets and the regrets, the burdens and fears, the lament and the tears. I lay them down.
And no matter how far away from God you feel, or God feels away from you, or the divine, the other, whatever word makes sense to you, that universal force of unbeatable love comes running out to meet us in the person of Jesus, saying, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden." Even if you don't like Iron Maiden, with or without Nick McBrain, why wouldn't you? And I will give you rest. May rest and peace be yours this night, and may heating pumps be kind of sorted, and people be safe. Cool. So rather than a reading from the Bible, what is metal? The metal Bible, so metal, it is made of people. I want to play this with you. This is the Christmas film. Don't worry. It's not Red One. It's not something suitably whatever with. Yeah, anyway. Christmas film from the Methodist Church. Just want to share it. Want to see what you think. How do you respond to this and this campaign that the Methodist Church have got this Christmas, including kind of singles and this film and a whole load of other stuff called "Hush the Noise." Not to be confused with that song from Slade, "Come On, Squeeze My Boils." No, "Come On, Feel the Noise." Yeah, sorry, that was a Mark and Lard joke from Radio 1 in the 90s. Anyway, shut up, James. Yeah, shut up. All right, Hild. Yes, so this is the Methodist Church film, Hush the Noise. Whoa, what have I done? Wow, my computer's gone like really weird. Wow. Anyway, shh.
You have one new voicemail.
Hey, I've been trying to reach you. I know it's been ages. I'm not really sure how we lost touch. So, how's things? How's the family? I can't believe Franny is almost 2. How on earth has that happened? I love that video of her you posted the other day. She looks so grown up. How's her big brother and sister getting on at school? It's a huge thing to deal with, isn't it? And all the pre-Christmas madness. I mean, I love this time of year, but it's a lot, isn't it? There's just so much to deal with, right? I wouldn't say this to them, but I'm always a bit glad when it's over. How's work? Everything's pretty loud at this time of year, isn't it? My phone doesn't exactly help either. Everything just ends up feeling like it's happening all at once. But then, underneath all that rushing about, if I really think about what I'm feeling, I think I'm just a bit lonely. Feels weird to say it out loud. It's like I'm here, but I'm not. And lots of that just lives in my head all the time, making me anxious. I can't turn down the noise. Maybe I'm just a bit broken. I think everyone feels a bit lost sometimes, don't they? I know I do. Like, there must be more to life than this. And sometimes I think, if I could just hush all the noise, maybe I could find out what it is. Put my phone down a bit more would be a good start. Being present with my kids, you know, really there. So I can actually hear what I'm really thinking, really feeling. Because sometimes all that small stuff is actually the big stuff. I think there has to be something more to life. And I want to find out what it is.
Hey, I've been trying to reach you.
Ooh. Scandinavian black metal, black background, white text, Methodist church. Boom. I just did that, didn't I? I'm sorry. Yeah. What are our responses? Yes. Yeah, the races did look good. So the first time I watched this, I didn't notice the turkey and the bit where it's being coming in, like being brought in, and then being then like every sort of veggie bit of me just went like. So I got a bit gippy this time. So that's what I noticed on the second view. That's not to take away from it or to beat it in any way. It's just kind of like, oh no, I've noticed the turkey now. I can't, and that bit of the turkey. Whoa. Yeah, what are your thoughts to that? Hey Patrick, we were just watching the Hush the Noise film from the Methodist Church and kind of seeing how we respond to it. Yeah, so it's not a reading, so I'm going to play some things. We've got some time to reflect on comments and stuff. It's called Hush the Noise. It's about, I guess feeling a bit disconnected from each other, maybe from yourself and all the stuff of this time of year. And the campaign is Hush the Noise, which is an interesting thing to discuss. Something with the word metal in the title. Yeah, so, you know, what do you think? That's enough of that. Yeah, so yes, it's a valid point. Question. Any of those. Thank you, Vicky. It's really good. So you'll post early on and, you know, just knowing that you're all right and you're all back home and that we're out here interacting. This is awesome. Okay, so yeah, question, who was the person meant to be calling at the end? So Rachel reckons it was meant to be God. Yeah. I think so. When I first time I watched it, I guess I thought similar, and then on a second watch, because he's kind of talking to himself, and so I'm kind of going, is it about our sense of connection to ourselves and being connected to who we, fully are, rather than all the things that we think we're meant to be and the things that we think we're meant to do, particularly the pressure of that around Christmas, perhaps. Perhaps that makes us feel disconnected, and maybe in that same way, in being connected into who we are, as Patrick Cates put it, we are custodians of God, and therefore the divine within us, connecting to ourselves, is also connecting to God. I don't know. That's getting a bit kind of existential, isn't it? But I don't need to. I just can't help it. Sorry. Okay. So he kept changing outfits, and it seemed like he was talking to himself. Yeah. So handily, you can check this out on the Methodist Church website, and you can download the film. They've got a load of stuff you can use for Advent liturgies if you're doing that in church, but also some questions. So it is about connection and disconnection, themes for reflection. The film portrays a person feeling overwhelmed and disconnected despite being surrounded by family and friends. This reflects the modern struggle with business and the constant noise of life. So one of the questions then is about how the journey of the person in the film to find peace and connection, even when it's surrounded by people, kind of mirrors perhaps the journeys that many of us go on. It can be a kind of spiritual thing of trying to connect with something that makes sense of all the stuff that we're doing, that we end up doing because either we feel expected or, because people in families are involved in nativity, we've always done that, and so we go and do it, and then you think, oh, why am I doing this? What is it all about? Are we I guess it's reflecting back a mirror saying, are we sometimes feeling disconnected? And I guess the different outfits, that all the different kind of hats or roles that we play, whether it's in family, whether it's with friends, maybe sometimes it's the faces that we have to put on, perhaps the different masks that we have to wear, because perhaps we think particularly in terms of neurodivergency and masking and all this social stuff, that can be quite stressful potentially, I think. There's more places to go and therefore more times to mask and to keep that going. And often doing that out of love and care, because you want to support, whether it's friends or family members, around that time, and turn up to, the Christmas party. And for many of us, the word party, and then Christmas party kind of just makes us go, no. But all that stuff. And when you're pushing in that way, where's that sense of connection and resource to yourself, and then for to God, I guess, or whatever word we want to use, that resources us spiritually, whether it's music, art, that whatever it is that feeds us and is life-giving. So that's the first thing. Patrick is calling a friend who has a connection to God. One reading I'm using tomorrow is from the prophet Malachi. Me too. The messenger. When are we messengers for God? Yes. So I wrote about this in our church newsletter about the word. The angel comes from the word evangelion, from which we get evangelical and evangelism, and perhaps those words then for some people can feel uncomfortable, or got to go and whatever's going on in someone's lives, tell them Jesus loves them and therefore everything was all right, when in fact it isn't. Not that that prevents God acting in miraculous ways or anything like that. I'm just kind of saying that sometimes perhaps for some denominations and some Christians that kind of feels a bit uncomfortable. It's another mask or another thing we're supposed to do, and if we don't feel we're doing it, it's another way in which we feel disconnected or shame or guilt or whatever. But actually, as Patrick is saying, messenger, the word angel, and the prophets who are messengers, the word angel means a carrier, a messenger of good news, from which we get gospel, literally turning up and carrying a message from God. So that is what an angel is, someone who carries good news. And so therefore it isn't, when you read the account when the angels appear to the shepherds, it just says an angel appeared. It doesn't say that they were necessarily in the sky. It didn't say anything about wings. Who were these people? Were they just people compelled? Sometimes you have that sense of like, I don't know, but somebody's in my mind, and I don't know, I just want to kind of reach out, perhaps in like that film, and just kind of touch base and connect with them, and just, I don't know, something. And then, maybe that's been, God's used that as a sort of way of connecting in a way that we might not have thought of, but, maybe in some way we have been an angel to others. And perhaps others have been angels to us. And in one of the churches, we had a whole discussion instigated by the amazing Tim Baker, and people sharing their experiences of angels, people appearing in a moment of need, and not being able to understand quite where these people came from, and where they went. Either stuck on top of a mountain, losing the path in the mist or whatever. Yeah, so yeah, who are messengers? So yeah, like David, Patrick, or perhaps if we're seeking for the divine, do we need a messenger to relay it for us? Yeah, does it make sense? Communication is only effective as the message that's understood at the end of it. The new Jaguar advert, for example, it doesn't mention the car. They've changed the logo. The car isn't seen. It's people going, "Wait, we gone mad," and typically gammon people. Nigel Farage, I think, was particularly kind of giving it some, it's disgusting. I hope they go bust. They deserve to, but. So yeah, I looked at that and didn't quite get it, but listening to other people explain, I'm going, oh, okay, I get it. So it's only as effective. The message is only effective as the way in which it's communicated and the way in which it lands, and sometimes we need some help with that, right? Yeah, particularly if some of this is done in metaphors or whatever, and you are someone who thinks more literally, kind of all this stuff gets really confusing. So here we go. When he was visiting past versions of himself, oh yeah, like a sort of Christmas carol, like a Christmas David Larry carol. I'm just going to put your name up again, David, because it's a very Christmassy name. There we go. Yeah. And just looking back, yeah, and the sense of whether it's him, the divine within him, or somebody else trying to reach out, but a sense of perhaps in all those situations in the past, that opportunity was there, but all of the stuff got in the way. A bit like, yeah, Scrooge going back and visiting the ghost of Christmas past. Actually, there's always opportunities for acting differently, but such was his mindset that he didn't see or notice. And again, it's taken a messenger in terms of these three ghosts who come and help him kind of see the true meaning of Christmas. Only 4 more sleeps till Christmas. Yeah, like him in different stages of his life. Yeah, and I guess it's then, is it like the footprints thing that when, I know we talk about this a lot, but so it's my guitar going crashing. Guitar down. Yeah, you kind of, there's this postcard thing, and it says, I was walking on the beach with Jesus, looking back at my life, and I noticed these footprints where Jesus walked with me, and my footprints in the sand are both together. Then I noticed times where there's only one set of footprints, and I thought, hold on a minute, those are the times in my life that are the most difficult. I'm like, what are you doing, Jesus? That's when I totally needed you. And Jesus says, well, why is only one set of footprints? Where were you, man? And Jesus says, well, that's when I was carrying you. They're my footprints because I was giving you a piggyback, dude. I'm not sure he said dude. I mean, he didn't say any of that because it's not, it's an apocryphal kind of thing. I know, yeah. So we're also asking that film to think about, so disconnection, connection, perhaps in our own past. And their own experiences, and how perhaps we start off with one sense of who we are and these different things, the way we experience life, the good and the bad, our sense of choice and empowerment within that, and how that perhaps impacts on our sense of connection and disconnection with ourselves and with others. Talks about the role of technology. The person's phone is kind of always in there, symbolizing both connection, because it's how we connect, but also distraction. Does technology help or hinder, or both, in terms of our relationships and well-being, emotional, mental, spiritual well-being? Here we are doing kind of, trying to develop Christian community online. Is that a distraction, using social media, and yet we're able to connect like this? Is it a double-edged sword? It's like the Sword of Damocles, which is also an amazing song on, I can't remember which Judas Priest album it is. I think third to last, but anyway. The film ends with the person finding joy in the simple everyday moments with his family. So actually finding peace in the ordinary. So maybe we're always looking for that next thing, or looking back and maybe regretting or whatever. And so for in the present, maybe we are dissatisfied. And maybe that's why people it's called Christmas Present, because it's Jesus with us in this moment. Who knows? That might be it. Yeah, it's so places like this that we're trying to create here, or if you go to a church or another place of worship, is that a place of refuge and connection, a place of peace? The fact you can be alone in a crowd, does anyone else feel that? Because you're not quite sure how to relate and operate, and everyone else seems to, but it's all the social nicety stuff. If you struggle with that, it can feel very alienating, or everyone's rushing around looking like they're having a really good time, and you're not feeling that, and you're like, well, there's something wrong with me then. That sense of loneliness, even when we're in community. But what does it mean, therefore, to be not just in a community or in the community, but in community, to have things in common, to hold things in common, like the first disciples, where they held everything in common, and so that nobody, and shared everything according to people's needs, so that nobody lacked for anything. Is I guess we talked about COVID being an example where that sense of care for each other, that real sense of community seemed to shine. Has that gone back a bit? Response to the situation in Ukraine, and offering sanctuary and refuge, and an opportunity to be part of a new community, and for us to be part of that as well by people joining us from Ukraine. What about people that perhaps weren't invited to come and join our communities, who absolutely, looking at the world today, are looking for places of safety and peace? So it kind of gives us things to think about. So for personal reflection, have you ever felt like the person in the film, overwhelmed and disconnected? And how did you find peace? How does technology impact your ability to be present with others, with the world, or with something bigger? Maybe that word is love, God, whatever. Can you share a time where you experienced a sense of something bigger than yourself in an ordinary moment? How did it impact you? I guess that's what we try and share with the cheese and tack thing. No matter what the day is or how things are going within that, are there things that have just gone, yeah, but that was cool, or that was beautiful, this thing that I saw today, and how does that help us with all the other stuff? To think about community and support, what role does community play in our lives? Is this a place of community for you? I hope in a red group, how might we as a community support each other in terms of peace and connection? And it's one of the questions that Kate and I were thinking about. About developing this community. About what is it that what would people find helpful in terms of how we can resource each other? How do we help people to feel that they belong? What does that look like and sound like and feel like? And also, how can we support each other, whether it's gathering like this, whether it's much more of a rhythmical thing, even if it's just a pre-record video in the morning and the evening of, starting and ending the day together, even if it's not me sat like this or whatever, but just kind of a chance to check in and to comment on social media. The words that we use each time we meet, to have those in a printed format. Is that something helpful? So wherever you are, you can kind of do it, kind of connect in that way, a bit like other Christian communities do, like particularly Iona and the Wild Goose kind of worship resources. And then thinking about Advent and Christmas, how can we use this Advent and Christmas to slow down and to focus on what truly matters? Because nothing else matters. What traditions or practices help you connect with the deeper meaning of the season? Yeah. Any more thoughts? We can think about this all the way through Advent. Show it again next time we do this and just kind of see what we're working on. Yes, following what I was saying, Katie's working on a survey that we can get your views on how we can develop this community and what is helpful for people. So, and I've said, kind of tongue-in-cheek, here we are discussing something called Hush the Noise, in a thing entitled Metal. What? Really? Oh, dude. And I mean, if you love Strictly, that's awesome. I doesn't do anything for me, but total respect if you like it. But also, I mean, I haven't heard it, so I can't judge it. It might have been a fantastic rendition, and the music might have really, the dancing and the music might have really brought out those words and added something powerful. So I'll shut up. But we talked about Hush the Noise. It's something called Metal Methodist and Metal Compline. You know, I know I've shared this umpteen times, but the reason this all began was about this kind of juxtaposition. God, that's a big word. This kind of setting up against each other in you know, diametrically opposed, and it is against each other. You know, darkness, bad, metal, evil, light, Jesus. And actually, you know, I like the Gothic. I find it immensely powerful. I also like strive for Jesus. So like, are these two not going to go together? Is there a space where Psalm 139, darkness is as light to God, and you know, trying to create a place where those two things are, is a synergy, and there's something creative of God, of love, of whatever, that isn't about, like in that film, becoming disconnected with things that make you who you are. Your love of goth music, alternative music, metal music, what, you know, particular comedy, Strictly, whatever it is, that it's okay to be who you are, because as Word of Pantocrator has said, you are a custodian of God. So let's think about Hush the Noise. You know, I admit, kind of does make me go slightly, in that, you know, religions, Christianity, Buddhism, there's always this focus on quietness and, you know, being still, and that is seen as sort of, you know, reaching spiritual enlightenment, heightened, whatever. And I don't know, if you struggle to focus, if you struggle with being still, if, you know, all of that, then there's that, are we not unintentionally perhaps setting up things that actually make people feel guilty and like they're not good enough because they can't do this, when in fact actually it's just about the diversity of who we are as human beings, and that God is in the noise as well as in the quiet. So I don't kind of want to say, you know, God is God is only in the quiet, God is only in the noise. Perhaps God is in both, just as we are, you know, we find both helpful in different times for different reasons. But I think particularly from a neurodivergent point of view, potentially. But I guess looking at that film, it's not all noise, is it? It's certain types of noise. It's perhaps being able to filter out the stuff that perhaps is life-giving for us to hear and to see and to experience. And to perhaps turn the volume down or move into the background, those things that get in the way of that, because they are, you know, their own kind of negative monologue or things that other people have said that actually get in the way of the message of a God who wants connection. And if the story of Christmas is God becoming one of us, you know, fantastic song by Joan Osborne. But if God is one of us, then God is about relationship and connection, and so it's those things that get in the way of that relationship and connection that perhaps you want to turn down, rather than say that all noise is bad. Because for those who like, you know, certain sorts of music, noise is amazing. But equally, you know, the power of that noise is sometimes in that little gap, that little wait, even a semi-demi-quaver of silence that then makes the next thing hit like a train. I was talking, you know, saluting Nick McBrain as he steps down from touring with Iron Maiden today. And that moment of silence in the intro, the spoken word tape intro to The Prisoner, I am not a number, I'm a free man. And it, yeah, you know, without that silence, that, you know, would be completely different. So yeah, and the silence in between that allows us to hear the power of that drum beat. So, wow, that got a bit more kind of artistic than I was intending, but yeah, yeah. Does any of that make any sense for anybody? Does that, am I barking up the wrong tree? Do you love silence? Do you need to be surrounded by noise all the time? I think I'm in that camp. And that's not to say one's right and one's bad. but perhaps, yeah, what are the noises that you want to turn the volume down on? I remember, I think Iron Maiden launched a pair of headphones where you have presets, so you could hear the music based on the kind of EQ settings preferred by each member of the band. I've been a bass player primarily. That was grandiose as a bass player. No, as someone who has a bass guitar and sometimes makes noise with it, I obviously quite like listening to Steve Harris as the bass player from Iron Maiden and what he would hear. And it's interesting because it heightens certain frequencies, takes down others. So a bit like that, in terms of putting on your, noise cancelling headphones, so you can really focus on, the music you're listening to. What are those background noises you want to turn down? What EQ setting would you use? And what is it you're wanting to filter out? And what is it you're wanting to bring to the fore in the auditory delight that is this Advent as we journey through it together? That was a lot of waffling. I'm so sorry. Any responses to that, and also what we bring as and for prayer this day?
crown of thorns for all my scorn. I feel your breath as you love me to death.
So, yeah, absolutely, Patrick. Continue to pray for Luke. Yeah. And for his family as well, and for all who are journeying with a loved one, with kind of health concerns, about somebody else who had successful surgery, but kind of underlying infections are now on the mend, but it's taken a while. Think about those for whom either, as Katie said, this is not a particularly great time of year for whatever reason. There can be a multitude of reasons. And I am thinking of doing a kind of Blue Christmas. I think people have heard of this, but just a space in all the sort of tinsel of Christmas and Advent, just a chance to step away from that and be however you need to be. I'm thinking of doing it in a physical space here in sunny Drumfield, Shropshire, but also streaming it with very, very audio-visual, something where you can drop in, drop out, but just come and be, express some of that. Discover that other people are there too, meaning that you're not the only one for whom perhaps not always a great time of year, but also thinking about those who have been bereaved, and the impact of that going forward. And perhaps, it's the first time without family nearby, perhaps we're in a different kind of setting or context, and just how that impacts. So it sounds like me and Kate will be there doing a Blue Christmas. I mean, I want to call it a Black Christmas. A Black Christ Mass, kind of behemoth Black Mass, but with Christ in the middle. But that's, longest night next Saturday at St. Paul's Norton Lees. That is not the Blue Christmas. That is just, if you're able to get there, we're not streaming that one. We're going to do something using some of that as a stream shortly afterwards. But a plug for that, I think it's thanks to Kate, on the socials and stuff. On the socials, man. But yeah, perhaps a specific, Blue Christmas for those for whom it's a difficult time of year. So thinking those who've been bereaved in this last week. So for Charlotte and her family, and the Jude's family, and may the souls of the faithful and those whose faith is known to Christ alone rest in peace and rise in glory, and ever more so as we look to the day that is dawning, the light upon the mountain, the word that has become one of us, speaking love and justice and inclusion and welcome and peace into the screaming sound of our violent silence. And now, the notices. There's a notice. Angela, they are. Screenshot it. Next. Oh yeah, sorry, I've lost a week. I've completely confused. Next Saturday. Oh, it's because Saturday. Yes, today's the first Saturday. It's the second Sunday. That's what's confused me, because it's yes, Advent starting on Sunday. That's it. I have no idea what Christmas is now. Oh gosh. Yes, 21st. And yeah, look out on the socials for incoming survey. Just really want to hear and listen about how we develop this as a place for any and all who want to be part of it, in terms of community and connection, stuff that was in that film, I guess. And keep discussing that film. Does it speak to you? Does it not speak to you? As you've got it in your brain now over the week, do you find yourself kind of going, "Oh, it's one of those moments"? But love to kind of start the discussion. As it says in the sort of tagline, the byline for it, join the love song this Christmas. Yeah, let's get that love song going. Let's talk about it. Yes. And so January, perhaps another difficult time of year. It's because we're all skint, or maybe we were skint before and now we're even more skint. And I'm not saying that in a flippant way at all. Cost of living crisis and yeah, long time cold. All of that. So if you've got the blues, then you're welcome to come to St. Paul's in Johnfield on the 18th of January for a sort of bluesy kind of gathering, and that will be streamed as well. So I think that's it. Is it? Yeah. Hild, where's she gone? I think last time we did this, when I was in the cupboard here, I couldn't find Hild. I found her. And also, we'll just bring out Starscream. One more notice that Transformers 1, the best Transformers film since the one in 1986, and the 40th year of Transformers, is released to own and to stream, I think, from Tuesday, the 10th, this coming week. If you haven't seen it and you go, well, it's for children, it's totally fine. But I think it raises loads of theological, social questions, and Transformers are awesome anyway because they're metal. I mean, they are metal because they're like robots. She was chilling under a PlayStation 3 because I was busy reliving past Transformers games on the PS3, and I buried her. Sorry, you will be. You shall suffer for eternity. All right. How about I make you a tea? Yeah, all right, then I forgive you. Thanks, Hild. Okay, right. Me and Hild are off to make Yorkshire tea because it's tea, but from Yorkshire, therefore it's better. Yeah, she wants to brew. Yeah. Hugh, do you want to brew? Yes, please. All right, mate. Matt, are you all right down there? No, it's all working tonight, mate. You can. No, it's all plugged in properly. No, you can carry on. All right. No. That was Vice President-elect of the Methodist Conference, Matt Forsyth there. Just popping out from the cupboard just to make sure we had no technical crisis, but we're all okay. Yeah, we are. All right, Hild. So, thanks for joining me for this rather surreal moment. And, just total respect to Mr. Nick McBrain. If you haven't read his testimony in the Bible, What is Metal, the Metal Bible, So Metal It's Made of Paper, then I encourage you to check out metalbibleinternational.com, where you can read that. So, Christian metalhead, all-round, lovely bloke, Nico. As you step down tonight from your touring duties with Maiden, thank you for 42 years of just amazing timekeeping and amazing beats and just, the silences and the noise of the way you play it and how you play it and when you play and when you are silent, but just kind of just take it next level. We've already recruited someone. Who is it? Tell me it's not Aaron James from Witch Hazel. Who is it? Or they already know who it is, but they're not naming him, mate. I don't know. Well, Angela, this is like notice par excellence if this is going to be like a almost exclusive. So I was kind of hoping, I think I put on the post that I thought it might be amazing in terms of drumming if it was Chris Adler from Lamb of God, who was in Mega for a bit. Not revealed. All right, so Rod Smallwood's statement they've appointed. Okay, right. So, so if Aaron James goes quiet from Witch Hazel, I'm not starting a rumour. I'm just saying. I totally do it. It took to be amazing at it. Anyway, so Aaron, if you ever watch this, that is meant sincerely. That it really is. You would be amazing. I mean, but please don't, because you're amazing in Witch Hazel. And drum intros followed by a little bit of bass. I'm in heaven. I hope they went through the stationing process properly. Yeah, safer recruitment was done. Ear defenders were worn. Role descriptions created. Absolutely. So I think that's it. So the plan is for next week, people, is to gather twice a day in the morning, that's metal morning. So sometime between sort of 9:30 after school run and what might be the afternoon, and then potentially in the evening. At the very least, one of those. It's more likely to be, it may well be a pre-record video that appears that has the key elements of what we do. So a chance to sort of choose and tack, to acknowledge some of the stuff that might be difficult from the day ahead or from the day that has been. A chance to ponder together a question from the Metal Methodist way of life, or one of the questions that's in the group. It might be, why is it a manic Monday, or a wobble Wednesday, or a choose and tack Tuesday, or a Friday. But in order to make sure it happens, I'm just wondering about kind of putting together, maybe it might be sort of at most half an hour pre-record video, which means that it will play automatically if I'm unable to do it. But we can be around sharing together. So that's as much about selfishly me having, like we did in the old days, a kind of sense of accountability, a rhythm, like my Anglican colleagues who are kind of by canon law legally obliged to say morning and evening prayer. And again, using the same words and that kind of monastic rhythm, and that sense as, when we're not sure what to pray, sometimes the words that we have been praying in that repeated rhythm actually then pray us, or pray to us, or minister to us. So if that appeals, it'd be lovely if you can join us. And if that sort of stuff is helpful, as well as watching out for the questionnaire, where we look at how we continue to develop this and grow as a Christian community. Christian, as a community trying to kind of follow the original long-haired bearded dude from Nazareth. Including all his sort of subversive political social justiceness, which I think for me is really important. You may disagree, that's not part of who Jesus is, but certainly that's not my Jesus. His eyes are too blue. His skin is too white, because actually he was from the Middle East. So who is Jesus to you? Let's share that, I guess. Stop talking, James. Yeah, stop talking. All right. So I'm going to press this button now, and I've worked out now. So StreamYard has changed and become even more cleverer, and so it's got this bit now where you can end your stream, but with a pre-recorded video clip. So last time I pressed the swaying thing, and then realised I have to press it again inside the end bit. So I'm going to press end stream, and I'm going to say sway with me, held, and it's now stream. Metal Methodists, sway with me.